You've been dreaming about your dream life, scripting it, vision boarding it, visualizing it, but actually nothing has really come to fruition as you wish it would have. If that is the case, I might need to tell you the truth. You actually haven't been manifesting. You might have been creating a fantasy, a Disney La La Land, whatever you want to call it, but I don't think you might have really been manifesting the actual, real, true manifestation. See, building a manifestation and really building the life that you desire, manifesting it into the 3D world versus fantasizing, building a dream castle of Disney La La Land are two completely different things. And that is what we are going to really get clear on in this video, so that from now on you can start to actually manifest and stop creating your dream La La Land. Okay, so first let's get everything cleared out, because I think a lot of us make this mistake to think those two things are the same, including myself. I used to be that person. I used to fantasize and think that it was manifestation. But these two are not to be confused together. So fantasizing is wishful thinking. It's living in this fantasy world, kind of wishing and hoping that one day your fairy godmother shows up. Here I am, darling. I know you have been waiting for me for so long. Tell me, what is your wish? Bibbidi bobbidi boop, and it is granted for you. You really dream about it, you wish for it, you think about it. But let me tell you, this wish or this version is the version that will most likely not come true. Because in this version, there is a crucial essence missing, a crucial step that manifestation has, which is why it brings it to life, which is why it brings it to fruition. And listen, I used to do this a lot. I really genuinely believe that if I just thought hard enough about it, visualized enough about it, only thought positive thoughts and was just surrounded by positive vibrations and fun vibes and everything nice, sugar and spice kind of vibes, it would really just come to fruition. But I had to learn that thinking only about it wasn't gonna make the cut. I needed to take real action steps into that direction, because manifestation is completely different. Manifestation is really bringing things to life, seeing a vision and having a vision of what it is that you want, and being able to alchemize everything around you, your energy, your essence, and your power, to really pull it from the 5D or wherever it is into this reality, into your world. And when I'm speaking of alchemizing, don't think or see it as a very outer worldly activity, or you need to learn something, or you need to be someone, or this grandmaster. It's not so mystical as we might think that it seems. It's about turning base materials or the things that you have around you into gold. And to me, this requires just three things from you. Number one is a decision, just deciding what it is that you want. Really actually choosing it, and not just wishing for it, really putting a stamp on it and say, like, this is what I want, not what anyone else's want, not what society wants, what your parents want, what your friend want, what it is that you truly actually want, and you decide on that and you stick with that. Number two is alignment, getting your identity, your beliefs, and your self-talk in alignment with what it is that you want. And number three, which I mentioned at the beginning, that missing link that really distincts, in my opinion, what fantasizing versus manifestation is, really the action step, putting in your energy, moving towards that, what it is that you want. Because a fantasy to me just equals dreaming and making everything seems nice and thinking of what it is that you want, but there's no action. Manifestation is really the decision to do it, the alignment with it, and the action towards it. And that's it. That's the whole difference, because honestly, nothing has ever popped into your life from you sitting in bed, laying there and dreaming about $1 million on your bank account and how amazing it will feel, and you're just like, wow, hooray. And even let's say if you would not go work for it, in the sense, even if you would win or get the money, you would still have to go outside, make the decision to buy a lottery ticket, go get yourself a lottery ticket and put in the numbers and whatever it is. But there is still action required towards getting that $1 million and getting that lottery ticket. It's not just sitting there and then the rest of the day you just do whatever you do normally. And I think this is just really how you spot the difference. It's, to me, super simple. Fantasizing has no action. So you find yourself making vision boards, you go on Pinterest, collect everything, but you look at it every day, you feel inspired, but you never really actually do something. And with doing something, I mean do something that moves you towards that goal or towards that desire. You can be really daydreaming and be like, oh my gosh, this feels so good, it feels so nice, but again, no action towards it. And don't get me wrong, I love daydreaming. I think that is a very powerful tool if you have the ability to really put yourself into that frequency, that vibration, those feelings, that's everything around you, but only if you use it as fuel and then really take those action steps towards it, but not just daydream and then you get out and go back to the job that you hate. And another method that I just find where I'm like, okay, guys, you need to wake up. You really need to get out of La La Land is all these methods that have been surfacing around, like 369 method, pillow method, and all that kind of stuff. And you just write it down, do it, and then you just let it be. Yes, again, as I said, it has an essential part. It does its job, but the job doesn't just start there, because you are missing the link, which you were supposed to do to turn it from a fantasy into manifestation. Now that you have the knowledge that all these methods, yes, they do work, and I speak about these methods and everything in a different video. If you're interested in that, you can click here or here, whichever side that it is. But if you understand the core of doing all those methods, what it does, and then add in the action step, that is what makes it to turn out to be manifestation. So now that you have the knowledge about it and the knowledge about the missing link, which makes it manifestation and fantasy, I want you to sit down and just ask yourself, okay, now that I know it, why have I been fantasizing? Was it because A, I really simply just didn't know the difference and I didn't know better? Or was it B, because maybe somewhere, somehow, I was afraid to take the action step? Because taking the action step would mean that it would become real. Because as long as it stays in your imagination and stays a fantasy, you are safe. You are safe in the frame of what feels familiar to you. So really sit with this question and just reflect upon yourself. And if you really want to go to the next level and you really want to make your fantasy become true, then you have to get yourself up and start putting in the aligned action towards it. You just need to start deciding it, aligning, and taking aligned action. The fantasy rarely becomes reality, rarely becomes true. And the woman who really manifests her desires, she's not sitting around fantasizing and really hoping for it to magically appear. She decides and she aligns her identity with that, what it is that she wants, and she acts consistently, even if it might seem scary. So if you want to manifest a thriving business, you don't just sit there and hope and dream about the business. You take the first step into making the business, asking yourself what it is that it requires, really taking the actual step, even the smallest ones. Because here is what I want you to remember. Your dream life is not just going to fall into your lap. It is going to appear because you decided, you aligned, and you acted. And the decision of having it, being it, and doing it is what will make it come to fruition. And that is actually manifestation. And everything else is just a fantasy land that you found yourself comfortably living in. So let me know down in the comments, have you been a victim of La La Land? Just as well for me to know that I haven't been alone. And if you have been able to break free from it, let me know how you have managed that as well. This is where I end this video saying thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, of course, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might still be in La La Land, and see you next time. Mwah.